Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I have a truly inspiring story for you. It's perfect for practicing your English listening skills, but it's also a powerful reminder that hard work and determination can change your life. The story is called Nothing is Free. So, find a comfortable spot, relax, and let's begin. There once was a young man named Leo, just 20 years old, living in a small, quiet town surrounded by tall green mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants one day, to become a successful entrepreneur, and make his family proud. But life wasn't easy. His father, Mark, worked long hours as a mechanic, while his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to help make ends meet. His little sister Sophie, who was only 10, looked up to him like a hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside their small house, staring up at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life. But how can I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next morning, Leo shared his dream with his father. Mark sighed and said something Leo would never forget. "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Those words echoed in Leo's mind. Later that day, an idea struck him. He knew that people in his town loved fresh bread, but the nearest bakery was far away. He decided he would sell fresh bread locally. There was just one problem. Leo had no money to buy the bread. Still, he refused to give up. He walked 4 miles to meet the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. Leo said confidently, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town. I don't have money to buy it up front, but if you trust me for 1 week, I promise I'll sell it, return your money, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. "And why should I trust you, young man?" Leo stood tall. "Because I'm determined and I'll work hard to prove myself." After a long silence, the old man replied, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week. But if you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here again." Leo's face lit up with excitement. The next morning, he carried baskets of bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. Fresh bread, warm and delicious, he called out with a bright smile. At first, people were hesitant, so Leo offered free samples, and soon he had his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold everything and made a small profit. That evening, he returned to Mr. Anderson and proudly paid him back. The old man simply nodded. "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From that day on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried the heavy bread baskets, and sold all day long, rain or shine. After 2 months, he had saved enough to buy a small cart, which made his work much easier. His little business was starting to grow. One day, a customer told him, "Leo, you're great at selling, but why not bake your own bread? You'll earn more." The idea was exciting, but it also scared him. He had never baked in his life. But then he remembered, nothing is free, not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to succeed, I have to take risks and learn. So, the next morning, he asked Mr. Anderson, "Sir, can you teach me how to bake?" The old man frowned. "If I teach you, you'll stop buying from me. That's bad for my business." Leo smiled. "You're right, but I'll never forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure your bakery grows too." Mr. Anderson looked at him for a long time and finally said, "Fine. But baking isn't easy. It takes patience, time, and hard work. If you're ready, I'll teach you." And so, the lessons began. Leo started arriving at the bakery at 3 a.m. every day, long before sunrise. He learned to mix flour, knead dough, and bake it to perfection. At first, everything went wrong. His hands hurt, and his bread was too hard, too soft, or just plain burnt. One day, after ruining another batch, he sat down in frustration and whispered, "Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should just give up." But then, he remembered his father's words. "Dreams are not free. He realized every mistake was just another step forward. The next day, he returned with even more determination. Little by little, his bread began to improve. 2 weeks later, Mr. Anderson handed him a perfectly golden loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo couldn't stop smiling. He rented a small oven and started baking at home. His whole family helped. Sophie packed the bread and his mother brewed tea while he worked late into the night. Soon, Leo started making cookies and pastries too. People loved his products, saying, "Leo's bread tastes better than anything we've ever had." But success is never a straight line. One day, a new, fancy bakery opened in town, run by a young man named Eric. People were curious and started buying from him instead. Leo's sales dropped. Fear crept in. "What if I lose everything I worked for?" he thought. But instead of panicking, he decided to improve. He asked his customers, "What do you like about the new bakery? What can I do better?" They told him the new shop looked cleaner and had beautiful cake designs. Leo listened carefully. He realized he needed to grow not just as a baker, but as a businessman. He used his savings to paint his cart, add decorations, and offer new pastries. He even learned cake design by watching videos from the library. Slowly but surely, his customers returned. One evening, an elderly woman said, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo's heart with pride. Months passed. Leo saved enough money to rent a small shop. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm and welcoming. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning before sunrise, he baked fresh bread and opened his doors with a smile. His family helped. Sophie loved serving customers, and Claire managed the accounts. Leo's bakery became the heart of the town. But life wasn't done testing him. One stormy night, as Leo was closing, he saw smoke near the oven. A fire had started. He rushed to put it out, but much of his equipment was ruined. The next morning, people gathered outside his damaged shop. Some whispered, "Poor Leo, maybe it's over for him." But Leo stood quietly, then announced, "This is just another challenge. I've started from nothing before, and I can start again." He didn't wait for help. He immediately began baking at home again with what little equipment he had left. When his customers came, he told them, "I won't let you down. I'll keep baking, even if it's just a few loaves for now." The townspeople were so touched by his resilience. They started to help him. Some donated ingredients, others gave small amounts of money. Leo realized something powerful. When you work hard and never give up, people notice. They want to help someone who helps themselves. After months of rebuilding, Leo reopened his bakery. It was more beautiful than ever. He added cupcakes, muffins, and bright new decorations. On the day of the grand reopening, the mayor visited and said, "Leo, you are an inspiration. You've shown us all that with determination, anything is possible." Leo stood before the crowd and smiled. "Thank you all. You've taught me that nothing in life is free, not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step toward something greater." From that day on, Leo's Fresh Bakes wasn't just a bakery, it became a symbol of hope. People even came from other towns just to meet the young man who never gave up. What a wonderful story about perseverance. I hope you not only enjoyed the listening practice but also felt inspired by Leo's journey. Remember, every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Thank you for listening. If you liked this story, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.